Hello, everyone. This is Tasha again. So I wanted to come over just to do another trailer because I'm almost finished the study. Like I've done the study, but I'm almost finished writing everything up so that we can do this Proverbs 31 woman or Nacho Mama's Proverbs 31 woman. But anyway, I wanted to do another trailer just to entice you all to press in and be ready for this when we come. I'm even wearing my Wonder Woman bracelet. I call it my Wonder Woman bracelet, you know, how she blocks the arrows and the gunshots. But anywho, so just to give you a brief, I guess, insight on what we're going to dig into. So like for me as a child, I was always drawn to like certain types of females, as I said before, and the characters in the TV series, I felt that I related to them more than others. Though I was little, I fell in love with like females that were tall and wore heels, and they possessed a strong demeanor. They had this authority that made people respect them. And so it was what I wanted to be in life. I knew this at an early age. I would watch shows like Leave It to Beaver and what are the shows that I watch? Um, yeah, that's it. Small Wonder, Punky Brewster, shows like that. But I never related to the roles of the women or the females in those shows. Maybe a little with Punky Brewster style, but I love the shows where women were strong fighters. You know, I loved Wonder Woman, She-Ra, Xena, Charlie's Angels, Bionic Woman. Whenever there was a show with a chick fighting, I was watching it, okay? And my familial background on my mother's side, which is who I was around every single weekend, we would go up to my grandmother's every weekend up until the age I was like 13, because by then I want to hang out with my friends. But before then, we would go out and hang out with my family. And it was a huge family, okay? And so the majority of the women in my mother's family, they were feisty. They wouldn't back down from a fight. And they would talk about the times when, you know, they had a bully and their mother would raise them by saying, you better not start the fight. You never start a fight, but you better finish it. Those were my grandmother's lessons that she handed down. And so even as a young kid, I wanted to be a lawyer. That's what I wanted to be. That was a fighter to me because they litigated all the time. They fought in court. And then, you know, I thought about being a Supreme Court justice. Thurgood Marshall is like my hero. And so that's what I zeroed in on. That's who I was. And I really didn't know why. So, and I never had kids because I felt that I wanted my profession to be more. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you choose that you don't want to have children, that's your decision. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just like there's nothing wrong with wanting to have kids. I think a lot of times, you know, we get hung up on certain things. The norm is the norm and no one can go against it. And if you do, then you're a bad person or you don't have it all together or you're crazy or anything like that. And so for me, at an early age, again, and in my upbringing, I was confident in being okay with being peculiar or not normal or weird or an old soul. Those were the personalities that I had. But I knew I was exactly who God created me to be and realized now in looking back over my life that he was guiding me the whole way. So, woman of God, who are you? Who are you? What are you? What are you made of? What is your depth? What is your assignment, purpose, and destiny? These are questions you should be asking yourself as we do the study, okay? What is your wonder and your splendor? Why you? That the Father would create you in his image and likeness, but you're different from a male that is also created in his image and likeness. What is tucked inside of you that hell trembles at your inner authority? And as the Father has us incubating on the inside of him before we leave his presence in heaven to be birthed out from our mother's womb, he created us to be able to incubate life. Okay, so not only are we protectors of the breath of God that he placed in man, but we are also the incubators of his life, his very own creation. And when God formed the earth, he made male and female, and because they were on his mind even before he formed the earth. So in Genesis 1:27, it states that God created male and female in his likeness. Female derives from appoint, to appoint, and to pierce. So the female was taken from the man's rib. The rib cage helps to protect the organs in the chest. For example, the heart and the lungs. So that in and of itself could preach. We were the very thing that helped protect the breath of man, okay? His vital organs. So that already lets us know we are boss, okay? We had a very important purpose, even as a rib, okay? So again, we are defined by a point. And a point is to assign a role, determine or decide on, to fix or set officially, to name officially, to determine the disposition of like an estate to someone, a virtue of power, to provide with complete and usually appropriate furnishings or equipment. That's to a point. But we were called to pierce, to run into or through, as a pointed weapon does, to enter or thrust into sharply or painfully, to make a hole through, to force or make a way into or through, to penetrate, to discern, to penetrate so as to move or touch the emotions of. So we know the word says that God is not a man that he should lie. He can't lie, because everything he says becomes. That's why he can't lie, because what he says becomes that. If he was looking at a cat and called it a dog, it would turn into a dog. That's why he can't lie. His words have life. They carry life. Then we have the word that also says that those who love him are predestined and called. We've been summoned, commanded by a purpose. He saved us and called us with a holy calling. This is all in our name, woman of God. And so whatever and whoever Father God calls, it's just that. He called light to be, and light was. He called the land to form, and it did. So he called us a helpmeet, a female, a point, pierce. You are called. You are appointed. And woman of God, you are a weapon. Your very being is a weapon. And when the fall happened, God let the woman know. So first, let me tell you, you may hear some phrases that you've never heard. I call it the PG translation. And you're like, I've never seen that translation before. I'm from Maryland and I live in Prince George's County. So if you are a Prince Georgian, we call each other, we say we're from PG. Okay, we say it real short. So you may hear the PG translation come through sometimes, because I read the King James Version, trust I do, but I give it my PG translation. And so you'll hear phrases like, for instance, God let the woman know in the garden right before they got kicked out that her and the enemy would have beef. He actually said enmity or hostility, but I call it beef. Okay. And when I think of beef, pre-Jesus days, Biggie used to have a song, Biggie Smalls used to have a song, beef is when I see you, guaranteed to be an ICU. That's beef. Anyway, I'm just saying we weren't always saved, and if we were, hey, you still hear a song on the radio. But anywho, and so their seeds would have beef too. And the fight would look like generations being taught to stomp the devil because he's under our feet. Even after the fall, God gave the woman an assignment to war for his words, that you're going to have beef with this enemy, okay? But never allow the enemy to gain access to your family again, to be a watcher or to be on watch for your family. So I'm sure you want to know what this warrior woman looks like that I've introduced in this briefing or this trailer. A warrior is a brave, experienced soldier, fighter, according to the Oxford Dictionary, a person engaged or experienced in warfare, a person who shows great vigor, courage, or aggressiveness in a battle. And that's in the Collins English Dictionary, so I quoted from both. I'm glad you are curious of your assignment and purpose that is outlined in a famous text, and it will revolutionize your life. And that text is Proverbs 31, okay? It'll revolutionize your life. and those not only in your family, but when you find out who you really are, woman of God, and how to move in who you are, you will revolutionize this world, okay? The keys and facts I will unfold for you in this text will make global impact, and you will see it happen this year if you apply it accordingly. So the results are up to you and how motivated and consistent you are. However, we know that God is no respecter of person, and if he did it for me, if he showed me how to war, okay, he will show you. He'll do it for you. You will see changes in your family, your friends, your colleagues. You will even see and begin to see yourself impacting people when you go do your errands, go to the store, go to the cleaners. You will see a change in your community and even yourself. So every verse that you read and apply will allow you to see a new you breaking out of old and bad situations. You will break out and break through. So I hear like Diana Ross song, I'm coming out. When we do this lesson, ladies, we're going to come out. So this series is the beginning of your coming out party, coming out to your family, coming out to your community, coming out to your church, coming out to the enemy that you won't be pushed around another day of your life. The devil is a liar and the ultimate loser. So the victory is already won, and you will boldly assert that you are a woman of God, breaking bondages off and out of your life, taking your godly ordained authority, no longer taking the attacks of the enemy. You will see yourself as the daughter of God you are. As he is a lion, you'll see yourself as a lioness, who, by the way, is the predator. She does the hunting for the family. But anywho, I digress. The text we will be cutting up, of course, is again Proverbs 31. And God showed me that this text is actually about a warrior woman, vicious and gentle all at the same time. In this text, she is teaching her child how to defend against the enemy. And then the son begins to tell of what a warrior woman looks like from what he saw in his own mother. So in this series, you will read the breakdown of scriptures and the revelation I received from the scriptures and the arsenal to fight this good fight of faith. It's a good fight of faith, tongue twisted. And this is called our life. So you will need the following resources when we dive into this study, okay? And all of them are free if you have access to the internet, which we should all. So you have the Bible app. And in the Bible app, I use the King James Version, the Amplified Version, the Message Version, and the Passion Translation. Okay, those are how I read. I normally read first in the King James, and then I'll read into the other versions. You'll also need the Interlinear Bible. I love that because it's like the Strong's Concordance. It has everything in there, the breakdown and everything. And of course, get you a good dictionary. And you'll need, finally, a pen and notepad. So, thank you, Warrior Woman, for listening to this briefing. And when I come back again, we'll really prepare ourselves for the best fight of our lives because it's fixed and we win. It's already won. So when you see me again, let's get into the word. I love you guys. Bye.